In this video we are going to learn about the treatment of hepatitis B, that how to assess the patient having hepatitis B from the clinical test, and how to evaluate the patient requiring the treatment of the hepatitis B. First of all, we do the test of HB surface antigen for screening. If it becomes negative, then we do not need to do any treatment. If it becomes positive, then we have to perform two types of tests. First of all is hepatitis B virus DNA PCR quantitative, and the second test we have to perform is hepatitis B E antigen, and the third test is anti-HBE, hepatitis E antigen and E antibodies. We have to perform these three tests. We divide the hepatitis B virus into types, that is wild type and pre-core mutant, on the basis of E antigen. There are two types of hepatitis B virus. Number one is wild type, that is most commonly present, and the second one is pre-core mutant, in which it is a rare disease in which genetically there is a mutation in the hepatitis virus antigens and E antigen is absent. So in this case, hepatitis B E antigen is absent. As there is no antigen, so there would be no antibody. So HBE antigen is negative and anti-HBE is also negative. So this is the special case of E antigen pre-core mutant, in which E antigen is absent, due to which antibodies are also absent. In this scenario, we have to start the treatment. We perform the E antigen and antibody if it becomes positive. So all of these two tests are performed when PCR is positive. If the PCR is negative, then we do not perform E antigen and antibody. If it becomes positive, then we perform hepatitis B E antigen and anti-HBE antibodies. If it becomes negative, then no need of further tests and treatment. So and if it becomes positive, we perform E antigen antibody and it is congenitally absent, E antigen antibodies both are absent, then it is pre-core mutant type. In this case, we start the treatment even if viral load, when the viral load is equal to or more than 2000 international unit, we start the treatment. So this is a special type in which E antigen is absent, antibodies are also absent. PCR showing viral load of equal to or more than 2000 international unit, we start the treatment of hepatitis B. The second type, wild hepatitis B virus, further consists of two groups. Number one, in which E antigen is present, positive, and anti-HBe is negative. The second group is in which E antigen is negative but antibodies are present. In both of these scenarios, we start the treatment when PCR shows viral load of equal to or more than 20,000 international unit. So in this case, treatment is started when it is equal to or more than 2,000 international unit, but in this scenario we have to start the treatment when the viral load is equal to or more than 20,000 international unit. So this was based on the clinical tests and viral markers. There is other criteria. We also have to see the LFTs and ultrasound abdomen. First of all, we need to understand that in the case of hepatitis B virus, there could be two possibilities: infection and inflammation. We do not treat the infection. Even if PCR shows viral load of more than millions, even if the viral load is in millions, we do not treat the hepatitis B virus infection until or unless it becomes inflammation of the liver, that is hepatitis. We treat the hepatitis, not the infection. If the virus remains in the blood, infect the person and replicates, but we do not treat it until or unless it affects the liver and cause the inflammation, that is hepatitis. So if it causes hepatitis, then we have to treat it, but we look to see whether it has caused the hepatitis or not, that is liver function test, mainly ALT. It contains AST and ALT. We mainly see the ALT. If the ALT is equal to or more than 20 upper limit of normal, then we consider it as the active infection of the hepatitis B virus causing the hepatitis, so we treat it. In the case of female, the upper normal limit is 25 international unit. In the case of the males, it is 35 international unit. So in the case of the female, if it becomes 50 international unit, in case of the male, if it becomes 70 international unit, then we have to treat the hepatitis B virus. The third thing was second thing, the LFTs. After looking the viral markers, the third thing we have to see is ultrasound abdomen. If there is cirrhosis present on the ultrasound abdomen and hepatitis B virus has in fact caused the hepatitis, then we have to give the lifelong treatment. So this is important, that if the cirrhosis has developed due to the hepatitis B virus, then we have to give the lifelong treatment irrespective of the PCR. Even if the PCR becomes negative, we have to give the lifelong treatment for the hepatitis B virus in case of the cirrhosis. The treatment we have to give is the two classes of the drugs we have to give. First of all is treatment of hepatitis B virus causing hepatitis. The first drug is tablet tenofovir. There are two main categories in this. First of all is alfenamide, which we have to give the 250 mg OD. The second is disproxil fumarate. Disproxil fumarate is a 500 mg OD. Alfenamide it's a new drug. Recent studies have done on this drug. It has good bone and renal profile. Than the disproxil fumarate, but it is costly, expensive. And if we talk about the disproxil fumarate, it is less expensive, but it affects bone and kidneys. So we have to be careful while dealing with the patients of the chronic kidney disease, and we have to do the dose adjustment. So special considerations have to be given in the patient having the deranged RFTs. We have to see the RFTs for the follow-up. The second class is tablet entecavir. The dose is 0.5 mg and we have to give it in the BD form. So this was the treatment of hepatitis B virus, and there is a special